Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Silent Core and welcome back to my Red Dead series. Today I have some new information from a Rockstar Insider regarding multiplayer matchmaking, new roles coming to Red Dead Online, and some upcoming changes for game functions that will be included in a future DLC update. Now I hate long intros just as much as the next person, so let's jump right into this one. So Tez2 said on GTA forums that launch parameters have been updated with new sequential variables for future roles. These are variables for the online menu that lets you spawn near locations where you start off the new role. Basically, the new role option that appears within the menu if you haven't unlocked that role yet. There's not much you can interpret off this other than knowing how many roles are possibly coming in the future. Worth noting, they could be also expansions to existing roles. Now what this basically means is Rockstar is going to give us the ability to basically teleport straight to the locations to start your roles. I can imagine this is going to be most useful to new players because when you start off it's quite overwhelming with the amount of different roles available in the game that you can start knowing where to start them and how to get started, especially since some of them, such as the Moonshiners one, requires a property purchase at the beginning. So I think honestly it's a great idea to have some kind of centralized menu to allow you to easily see where to start on the new roles and be able to teleport straight to them. And I think Rockstar also knows this is another great way to push players to buy gold bars. Tez also shared some updated variables that actually show there are 3 unknown roles that are currently available or in development right now with Rockstar, and these could either be new roles into the game or expansions from what we know so far. So he said before the Bounty Hunter expansion update that there were 2 variables, there was Trade 6 and Trade 7, these are the numbers assigned to each role in the game, and previously the Bounty Hunter expansion had Trade 6. So upon the release of the Bounty Hunter expansion in December, they used Trade 6 for the Bounty Hunter expansion role, and then we obviously have Trade 7, Trade 8, and Trade 9 that are currently unused. Interestingly, Trade 8 and Trade 9 were added at the same time, indicating that Rockstar could potentially be working on releasing 2 roles at once in a future update, because they've added 2 unused slots instead of 1 like before. Now, although these new parameters suggest there are multiple new roles in development, from Rockstar's announcement of this summer DLC update, I think it's actually quite unlikely we will get a new role with this summer update. And the reason for that is they've said there's just new missions coming in their newswire. And then in the Take-Two earnings call, they described it as just new missions and also different types of robberies for rewards. There's no mention of a new role, of a new frontier pursuit, and that was always something both Rockstar and Take-Two would always include in their earnings call and their announcements, is the fact we're getting a new frontier pursuit. So I'm actually leaning towards thinking that these new roles may actually be for a follow-up DLC, perhaps sometime in the winter. Rockstar has made hints previously towards a lawman role, also a fishing role. They've talked about expanding, the storyline around Harriet and Gus, potentially more legendary animals into the game, so that could be another expansion of the naturalist role. So yeah, I could be wrong here and Rockstar could surprise us with an outlaw role, but I think it's just quite unlikely from the language and verbiage Rockstar have used up until this point for the summer update. Alright, so let's move on to the next finding, and some of these have actually been in the game files since day one. That doesn't really give us a whole lot of indication if their cut content are still planned. However, there's been some new recent findings around these nominated series that suggest that Rockstar are still working on it and are going to be finishing it for a future DLC soon. And in this post here, you can actually see a quote of the game files that have been found and actually added with the latest update, and these ones were found by Allocator. So just to run through the 4 that are quoted here, they are join a series of showdown modes specifically selected by other players, and then we have join a series of large showdowns, mid-size showdowns, and then small showdown modes. Tez did also note here that he's not sure exactly what Rockstar is planning to do with these new series, but hopefully this would be something that we could actually customize the showdown modes with your own preferences and invite others to play them the way you wanted. And I honestly think this would be a really cool update for playing showdown modes and even some of the races. Obviously we just had 8 new races added this week into Red Dead Online, however when you do play the featured series it can throw you into even some of the old races, so giving us the ability to actually invite other players and create our own lobbies and invite players into them is just going to be a very helpful way to play with friends. But yeah guys, that's all the new information we have from Tez2 regarding some new game functions in the works and also some findings suggesting multiple new roles in the future and the changes to the matchmaking multiplayer options. If you guys do want to be kept up to date with all the latest Red Dead news and updates, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future breaking news. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.